Page 106, The Secret of the Method. What's exactly? Episode 106. Most people believe that evil is always obvious. They think trials come only as disasters or visible hardships. But what if the most dangerous trial is not suffering? What if the most dangerous trial is comfort? A comfort that slowly puts the heart to sleep. A comfort that convinces someone they don't need to question themselves anymore. Because the truth is this: not everyone who claims to stand for truth actually does. And sometimes life brings trials not to destroy people, but to reveal who they really are. Let us begin with a simple but profound idea. Not everything that appears to be evil is purely evil. Human beings often judge events too quickly. When hardship comes, many people immediately assume that something bad is happening to them. They believe life has turned against them. But sometimes, what appears to be hardship is actually a hidden form of guidance. A test designed not to break a person, but to reveal the reality of their heart. Because trials serve a purpose. They expose what comfort tries to hide. Many people believe they can live their entire lives inside what could be called the gray zone. A place where they avoid committing fully to truth, while also avoiding openly supporting falsehood. They believe neutrality protects them. They believe silence keeps them safe. But reality is more complex than that. Truth is not always comfortable. And those who genuinely stand for truth cannot remain neutral forever. There comes a moment in life when hesitation itself becomes a choice. A person may say they are neutral, but if justice is clear and they refuse to stand for it, then neutrality becomes another form of alignment with falsehood. This is why certainty plays such an important role. The people who stand firmly for what is right are not necessarily perfect, but they possess something deeper. They possess clarity. A clarity that comes from reflection, sincerity, and humility before truth. That clarity allows them to recognize tests when they appear. And tests do appear. They appear in many forms. Sometimes as hardship, sometimes as confusion, and sometimes as success. Yes, success itself can be a trial. Because when things go well, people may start believing they are fully in control of their lives. They begin trusting their own judgment more than they should. Slowly, arrogance begins to grow. And arrogance has a dangerous effect on the human heart. It reduces the ability to listen. It weakens the desire to reflect. It convinces a person that they already know enough. But the moment someone believes they know enough, they stop learning. And the moment someone stops learning, their growth stops as well. That is why trials exist. Trials challenge our assumptions. They shake our sense of certainty. They force us to reconsider what we thought we understood. For some people, this moment becomes a turning point. They begin asking deeper questions. They begin examining their own behavior. They start recognizing their weaknesses and working to correct them. But for others, the opposite happens. Instead of reflecting, they become defensive. Instead of learning, they become stubborn. They blame others. They reject advice. They assume that everyone who challenges them must be wrong. Over time, this attitude creates distance between a person and the truth. Because truth requires humility. Without humility, knowledge becomes dangerous. A person may possess information. They may quote ideas. They may speak confidently about complex subjects. But if humility is missing, that knowledge becomes a tool for ego rather than wisdom. Real wisdom looks very different. A truly wise person remains cautious about their own understanding. They never assume they are immune to mistakes. They never assume they are beyond correction. Instead, they remain aware that life can surprise them at any moment. And life often does. Many people spend years believing they understand themselves. Then one unexpected situation reveals something completely different. a hidden weakness, an unexamined assumption, a flaw in their character. At that moment, a person faces a choice. They can deny what they see, or they can accept the lesson. Those who accept the lesson begin a process of transformation. They recognize that mistakes are not the end of the journey. They are invitations to grow. A mistake becomes valuable if it teaches something. It becomes meaningful if it leads to improvement. But if someone refuses to learn from mistakes, the same patterns repeat, again and again, until life forces the lesson to become more painful. This is why reflection is essential. Reflection allows a person to convert experience into wisdom. Without reflection, experiences simply pass by. Years go by. Opportunities disappear. And a person may reach the end of a long journey without having truly learned anything. In that sense, spiritual disconnection is more dangerous than physical death. Death ends the ability to act. But spiritual disconnection ends the ability to understand. When a person becomes disconnected from reflection, from self-examination, from awareness, their heart slowly becomes numb. They stop recognizing warning signs. They stop questioning their choices. They stop seeking improvement. From the outside, they may still appear successful. They may still possess wealth, status, or recognition. But internally, something essential has stopped functioning. Awareness. And awareness is the foundation of growth. A person who remains aware of their own limitations continues evolving. They continue adjusting. They continue learning. But the person who believes they have already arrived has already stopped moving forward. This is why humility protects the human heart. Humility keeps a person open to correction. It keeps them receptive to advice. It allows them to recognize wisdom even when it comes from unexpected sources. And perhaps most importantly, humility keeps a person alert to the possibility of being tested. Because trials rarely announce themselves. They arrive quietly, unexpectedly, often disguised as ordinary moments. A conversation, a disagreement, a temptation, a success, a failure. In those moments, character reveals itself. Some people become more patient. Others become more arrogant. Some people grow wiser. Others become more stubborn. But every trial carries a hidden opportunity. An opportunity to rebuild one's inner foundation. An opportunity to correct one's direction. An opportunity to replace arrogance with understanding. And when someone chooses that path, something remarkable begins to happen. Their mistakes begin transforming into knowledge. Their struggles begin transforming into strength. Their experiences begin transforming into wisdom. And gradually, a deeper clarity begins to form. A clarity that allows them to navigate future trials with greater awareness. Because the goal of trials is not punishment. The goal of trials is purification. They separate illusion from sincerity. They reveal what comfort tries to hide. And for those who remain sincere, patient, and reflective, even the most difficult experiences can become sources of guidance.